You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. Ousted Congressman George Santos and his attorneys are working on a possible plea deal as he prepares for a court appearance tomorrow. New court filings show the feds are working with Santos to resolve his pending criminal fraud case without a trial. Now, if the case does go to trial, the government has requested a June or May start, which is earlier than the original September date. And a man is dead and a woman is hospitalized after a fire ripped through their Hampton Bays home. It happened just before 10 o'clock last night on Rolling Hill Road. Authorities say Carolyn Koneski was able to escape the flames, but her brother Gregory had to be pulled out by firefighters. The retired scientist who worked at Brookhaven National Lab was later pronounced dead at the hospital. And in Massapequa Park, a man who worked at a dog daycare center is facing animal cruelty charges. Andrew Lorendi has been fired from his job at Pollywood. Police say the 21-year-old was seen on video swinging dogs above his head by the leash, then letting the pets fall to the ground. Lorendi is scheduled to be in court next week. And the price tag for the Suffolk County executive race set a new record. New campaign filings show candidate Dave Colon and winner Ed Romaine spent nearly $6 million overall. Colon spent nearly $4 million, while Romaine spent just under $2 million. Now, for a comparison, a total of $4 million was spent in the 2019 race. And they don't have much power to stop it, but some Long Island officials are making it clear they would like to put the brakes on congestion pricing. At a press conference today, State Senator Steve Rhodes called the plan nothing more than a money grab. It would charge most drivers an extra $15 to drive into Manhattan below 60th Street.
Instead of trying to make it easier for folks to be able to stay in New York, our state continues to adopt policies to make it more difficult for people to be able to stay here and earn a living. And that's exactly what congestion pricing is.
There will now be a 60-day public comment period on the plan. The MTA claims congestion pricing will pay for $15 billion in investment to further improve the public transportation system. And students looking to study cybersecurity can now earn full scholarships to study at Suffolk County Community College. Senator Kristen Gillibrand made the announcement today at the school's Brentwood campus. The federally funded program aims to fill a shortage of workers in the expanding field by covering the cost of tuition and offering a housing stipend.
Even as the number of cyber attacks have grown in recent years, the size of the federal workforce has not kept pace with this rising threat. In 2022, nearly 40,000 public sector cybersecurity positions remained unfilled.
Part of the deal calls for scholarship winners to work for the Department of Defense or NSA for the same number of years they received their scholarship. Applications open February 1st. And 'tis the season for giving a little extra. One Suffolk County high school is doing just that. Sherry Einhorn shows us how some students are helping their community one meal at a time.
So who's going to Stop and Shop with me today?
I am.
All right, you guys excited?
Yeah.
It's food shopping day here at Walt Whitman High School.
We're going to be getting a lot of fruit today.
Students in the life skills class are stocking the school's community food pantry. The students do all the planning.
Yanni, you're going to open up these two bags.
And the shopping. On today's list, pasta in aisle 4.
I love to scan everything, like the fruits, the boxes of pasta, and I like to scan it with the scanner gun.
Teacher Corinne McLaughlin says the trip teaches important life lessons.
This is a wonderful opportunity for my students to learn budgeting, following a shopping list, going on the school bus, doing the shopping in the supermarket, using gift cards that Stop and Shop has granted to our pantry.
The supermarket chain has donated 2 separate $10,000 grants to the food pantry. 49% of students here in the South Huntington district live below the poverty level. This food pantry is open to every single family, no questions asked. Typically, there are anywhere from 25 to 40 families using the pantry when it's open every other week.
And then keep going. You got all the pastas in there. Good girl.
The program gives these students a chance to learn important skills for their future while also giving them an opportunity to help others.
We help the other people to give them food. It makes me happy to give other people food.
In Huntington Station, I'm Shari Einhorn for Newsday TV.
Now to read more about this story, click Get More below the NewsdayTV video box. And the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers initially refused to help rebuild Fire Island's battered coastline, but now they're reconsidering. That follows pressure from state and federal officials who claim leaving the beaches in such vulnerable condition could lead to a catastrophe. The Army Corps of Engineers rejected requests in October to replenish sand, claiming the damage was not severe enough. All right, let's take a look at your Long Island weather, shall we? And it's going to be a nice day tomorrow with sun overhead, but for right now, tonight, we are in the 30s. So let's take a closer look at tomorrow so you can see what I'm talking about. We're in the 40s pretty much all day with that sun, like I mentioned, overhead.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Home Tax Saver, PTRC Incorporated.
Stony Brook students are taking a look at how Long Islanders' recycling efforts are actually going. Steve Langford has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
What are you doing?
Sorting garbage.
The brave team from the Department of Technology and Society at Stony Brook University's College of Engineering is going through the trash here at the Cavanta Hempstead incinerator plant in order to get a detailed read on just how well recycling efforts are going.
We can look and see what percent of material they're leaving in the garbage and what percent they're sorting out.
It's a state-sponsored study of samples of garbage around New York, years in the making. Cavanta Hempstead is one of many stops throughout Long Island and upstate New York as the Stony Brook team takes a deep dive into the way New Yorkers recycle and throw out their trash.
They weigh every category. All of those weights then are brought back to campus, and we have spreadsheets.
You look at this and you might wonder, is there any hope for recycling?
Yes, of course. I think people are getting to know what should be go to recyclables.
But short of assigning a monitor in every home on Long Island to make sure everything that should be recycled is, the experts seem divided on the prospects for this fundamental environmental struggle. Do you think one day we're going to get there?
Oh, that's a good question. I hope so. I'm not sure.
But as for what it's like coming to work every day to go through tons of garbage in search of signs of sustainability,
I kind of get used to it now. It's been a while. I sorting garbage since our study started since 2019.
their dedicated dirty work makes our domestic recycling responsibilities look easy. Steve Langford for NewsdayTV.
Now to read more about the recycling study, go to Newsday.com. Click Get More below the NewsdayTV video box.
Get in the game with Newsday. The best team of sports reporters and columnists bring you in-depth analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and news from inside the locker room. Get in the game when you subscribe to Newsday, your destination for total sports coverage at newsday.com/sports.
Hosting for the holidays? Well, we can help you create a magical tablescape. Lisa DeStefano has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
Setting the table for a festive feast.
So the number one rule for designing any table, especially a holiday table, would be to have a cohesive theme.
Nicole Rippertella and Julianne Ognaveni of Table Talk Rentals, a luxury tableware rental and design company, chose a bow theme for this table to tie it all together.
So we have this ribbon-like plate. Yeah, we put bows on the menus. We wanted to have the bows on the candlesticks. And then we even added ribbon elements into the tablescape itself.
So what else do we have to keep in mind as we're planning our holiday tables?
You want to keep in mind the space that you're working in. So for us, we have this really dark and moody dining room, so we wanted to make sure our setting was cohesive with something that felt warm and moody.
Let's talk about these gorgeous settings.
So for us, we started with this really beautiful wood base plate, and then we layered on our dinner and our salad plate.
And the napkin is underneath the salad plate. You don't see that often.
Just layering our pieces to make that depth and dimension. It makes it really inviting and very luxurious.
This all looks so beautiful, but my only big question is, where do you put the food?
Yeah, so when we're designing a tablescape, you always want to keep the function in mind. So for this one specifically, it's set up for either a buffet style or someone will be serving the food. If you're having a family style meal, you obviously want to make sure there's space left in the runner for the food to go down.
We have a lot of food in my family. I don't think we'd be fitting a lot of trees on my table. I want to sit down and celebrate.
Yeah, and that's really the point of setting a really pretty holiday table. It's to celebrate with your friends and family. It should be something that encourages your guests to come sit together and share with each other.
Elisa DiStefano, Newsday TV.
Does look good though. Now to read more about the holiday tablescapes, go to newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Information about communities is lost if you don't have local reporters, and if there's no one reporting, how do you know what's going on in your community?
Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Buffa. Thank you so much for joining us. We leave you now with a look at your 7-day forecast.